should be the typical place you're going to see
advantage, and with now the race lead, he comes into the chicane, and now it's Ferrari and Donovan Parker in front. So the USA lead here in Los Angeles with the Italian machinery down in towards the final couple of corners we're about to come, and Carrazza is right on the back bumper of Stelssv, who's in that unfortunate position of trying to attack but also having to look at his mirrors to try and defend at the same time. Carrazza's got the inside line into turn one.
That's a tight one.
Yeah, you can't really make a move stick through there unless you've got a winning dance partner, and Carrazza fairly robustly gets his way up and into third place for Toyota.
That was beautiful, great racing by both drivers to give a little bit of room there for Stelssv, and Carrazza there to get to the inside and stay committed through turn one. That's a really tough pass to make, but they did it easily.
It's sort of a bit of a stalemate where all the drivers have now started on this medium tyre. I have to say I'm quite surprised for that, because if you're Subaru, if you're BMW, you need to make the progress while the field is bunched up, you would have thought, and surely going for the soft tyre would have maybe been a different strategy. I suppose the converse to that is that you're going to be on a slower competitive tyre later on in the race, and it might leave you vulnerable.
Well, we already know that we thought they would do it one way and they did the opposite, so I figured out we have no idea what they're going to do, but we'll find out in real time with all of you watching as this unfolds. I think, we go back to that last lap with Donovan Parker going by Lanuza. That was a message to Lanuza. This is the straight line speed I have from this Ferrari. He made that pass before they got to the braking zone. Yeah, well, a bit of a sort of drafting train, I should say, rather. You've got down this back straight here as well, because Cardinal, though he closed up onto the back of Stelssv, of course, has the slipstream, being punched in the hole in front of him by Lanuza. Hayward here is vulnerable here to Philo as well, as he looks his way through the final couple of corners. It's pretty close down the bottom end of the field in this race, and Hayward and Rosenberger are under investigation for a collision, so I wonder if that's why we picked up that battle. Maybe something's kicked off at the end of that last lap. He was a little slow, he was off the line at that point, so something happened there through the chicane in 10A and 10B where they were able to get together. He was forced off to the side, so we'll have to see what the result of that was. Samuel Cardinal, quickest man though, out on the circuit last time around. He's driving the Mazda, currently sitting in P5, just half a second away from Stelssv as it stands at the moment. Let's have another look then. What happened here to well, this is Donovan Parker actually on Lanuza for the race lead. So Ferrari versus Mercedes AMG down this back straight, and he made that look quite easy, actually. You could just see the straight line speed there. Utilized the draft, of course, had the speed, and got it done before the braking zone. That's the type of pass you love to make happen because it was simple. Yeah, really nicely done there for Donovan Parker. And the question is now, he's got the lead of this race. Can he pull away? Can he build an advantage over Lanuza and over the rest of the field and try and sort of run his own race? And when we spoke to him earlier today, he was really worried about the left rear tire of this Ferrari, though. That's one of the things he said. I know it has the speed, but I'm worried about beating up that left rear tire, especially through turn one. This final corner here, you see the car puts a ton of energy through the left side. These are high speed, highly committed corners that just abuse that left side tires, and therefore he's just definitely thinking about taking care of that left rear. Yeah, no doubt about it. So through the first sector we go, and this is what we're used to seeing in these sort of longer form races. About 45 minutes in total we're expecting from lights out to the checkered flag. And it's going to be interesting to see how this one will work out, because you end up with a bit of a slower start to the race, but then it really comes alive at the end as you get the divergence in strategies. What we're expecting, about 8 laps or so on the soft compound of tyre, whereas on the medium side they'll go a little bit longer, but of course they don't have the same pace underneath them. They're about 0.8 to a second or so a lap slower than them. Of course everyone's on the same compound of tyre now, but are you going to get someone maybe diving into the pits early? If they can eke those soft tyres out just a lap or two longer, that could be the difference between winning a race and losing it. Yeah, who's willing to be the riskiest and be first on those soft tyres is really the game here right now, is how far do you want to push these mediums, and then how early do you dare get on those softs and hope that they can last as the field compresses again down in the backstretch chicane. There's 10A, 10B to the final corner. You can just see how the draft keeps these cars so compacted right now, and it just puts the pressure on someone like Donovan Parker, who's trying to run his race, focus on his lines, hitting his marks right now, but knowing that if he has any mistake there off of turn 7, they're there to pounce. Carrazza on the back, on the back of Lanuza. The problem is, though, it's such a one-line first sector here, though, isn't it? You can't find your way through there. Well, we saw the pass he made into turn 1, which was excellent, but once you get to turn 2 or 3, it'd be a massive mistake by the driver in front of you if you're going to get there. Here's Simon Rosenberger down in, this is how he got into Haywood, just outbroke himself. Haywood was an innocent bystander there, turned into the corner already. You can see him shaking his head. It's not what you want to do.
No, big disappointment there for Randall Hayward, and well, you wonder whether the stewards might be taking a look at that. I have to say, also for Subaru and for Danny Solis, it's not going his way at all. He's 5 seconds now off the back of Simon Rosenberger. Made that 10 seconds. He's clearly made another mistake on this lap, and he's just dropping like a stone. And clearly, he is struggling out there on the circuit, and that's not what Subaru needed, because this could be a race that, if they finish down there, they'll of course be scoring no points, and it could cost them the lead of the championship going into the World Finals. On board here, or looking rather, I should say, Adriano Carazza in third position, and Helena Stroza sitting there in P4 for now. You can see the tyre wear at the moment. First chance really to look at it. The front-engined rear-wheel drive cars actually looking pretty even compared to some of the mid-engined rear-wheel drive layouts that we've got. The sort of big outlier really is Donovan Parker, who's got a bit less rear tyre relative to the other drivers who were close behind.
And he told us that's what he was worried about with this Ferrari, and sure enough, it's showing up right now. You can see there was only 2 cars that were below the 70 percentile there in the rear tires, and he was one of them, down at 68 as we got off that graphic. So definitely abusing those rear tires right now, and that means he's just having to drive that car as delicately as he possibly can. You're trying to basically extract speed, but just not slide the rear tires, not put energy through the rear tires. It's an incredibly tough thing to do no matter what race car you're driving. And a racetrack like this, where it's putting a lot of energy through those rear tires, you just have to try and drive that car as straight as possible.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Looking here then at Adriano Carazza, we ride on board as he has got a face full of Noah Lanuza. We come down this back straight. Stroza and Cardinal sitting pretty close there behind and just doing a good job of keeping them honest. So for some of these teams here, Parker, looking at the standings going into this one, of course Subaru, as we know, they lead it by 2 points over the BMW. Nissan though, they're only half the points away from Subaru, for Mazda, for Porsche. There's a great opportunity for some teams to capitalise here.
There is, especially for what we saw in qualifying. That was really what opened everything up for a lot of these teams that have struggled in the first 2 events to have this chance in the third event. As we look at Carazza, look at the inside, Lanuza again, he's been doing that lap after lap, just poking that nose here into 3. Not really a passing attempt as much as a message. Hey, I can get there if I want to. I can put that little bit of pressure, and he now falls a little bit back as we go through the S's. He's definitely stronger through that turn 1, turn 2 complex, but does sort of lose a bit of time as we go through the S's into 6 and 7.
Yeah, coming down this straight then into double apex right hand. Let's have a look at another moment here for Danny Solis. We know he's been all at sea. And he had a spin, just got onto the curb, and well, that's dropped him now 15 seconds off the back of the rest of the field. I mean, look, he's laughing because there's nothing else you can do. Nothing else you can do. It's such a shame there for Danny Solis. We know he's a very competitive driver. We know he's got the ability to be at the sharp end of the field in these Gran Turismo World Series events. We've seen it. You don't become a 2-time champion. Maybe just nerves, something along